Alrighty, welcome back everybody to our latest live stream. We have a breaking situation currently southeast of Minneapolis. There is a brand new tornado warning that has been issued for some of the suburb regions. That is for Eagan as well as Mendota Heights. South St. Paul is also included in this. This is for the potential for a tornado anytime. Again, this is a brand new tornado warning. This is a cell that we've been tracking very closely over the last several minutes. It was just tornado warned for a while, just back down to the southwest of this. This is a QLCS situation, which basically means we may have some brief embedded tornadoes embedded in this line of storm. So this is an instance where you might be able to see a tornado with this cell as it moves off to the northeast. And as you might know, it is nighttime, so it's going to be extremely difficult to be able to see this tornado. So make sure you're staying indoors, away from windows, lowest floor possible. Again, this is moving quickly off to the northeast. This is near St. Paul. So if you're in St. Paul, areas just south of St. Paul, make sure you're getting to your safe place immediately, away from windows and lowest floor possible. Let me hop over to the velocities. We're going to go and take a look at that first. And this is a look at the current ongoing rotation with this cell. And you can clearly see here's your strongest rotation near Eagan. And that's again really riding along Interstate 35 as of right now, moving off to the northeast. So we are seeing a pretty decent amount of rotation here. Again, that's going to be moving towards areas like Highway 55 and Interstate 494 over the next several minutes as it moves off to the northeast. Again, that is currently near Eagan. So anyone in Eagan, make sure you're already in your safe place. And anywhere just off to the north and east of this, again, along Interstate 35, near Interstate 494 as well. These are the couple of areas that you need to make sure you're in shelter immediately for. We have several other areas, by the way, that we've had a little bit of rotation in. We have a little bit of rotation back down here as well near 3. So there are a lot of areas embedded in this line of storms that has some rotation. Again, this is all moving towards areas like Minneapolis and anywhere in the suburb region as well, is where we have our strongest area of storms. Obviously, severe weather is also ongoing with this. But again, a brand new tornado warning has just been issued. Again, that is for Eagan, Mendota Heights, I think that's how you pronounce it, as well as West St. Paul, South St. Paul, and just off to the west of Newport are all included, again, in this brand new tornado warning moving off to the northeast. Again, it's going to be going towards Interstate 494 over the next several minutes. So get to your safe place, again, lowest floor of your home or building, as well as in an interior room away from windows. That is what you got to do if you're anywhere in this area. Again, this is a fairly populated region. So again, if you know anybody in this area, make sure you give them a call. If you are watching the stream and you don't know anybody in this area, hit the like button so more people are able to be aware of this. Obviously, that will help to boost the algorithm and hopefully help more people to be able to be aware of this as this moves into that region. But obviously, this is a storm that has been tornado warned already prior to this. And I was going to go live for it, but I was doing something. I was able to get back in time for this tornado warning, which is obviously a pretty dangerous one, again, moving off to the northeast. Again, strongest rotation is currently now near Interstate 35. That is pretty strong rotation. Let me take a look at the correlation coefficient. And I'm not seeing anything as of right now that is on the ground, but we have very strong rotation right now near Interstate 35. So again, if you know anybody in this area, make sure they're getting to their safe place immediately. We have very strong rotation currently ongoing near Interstate 35, moving towards areas like Interstate 494 over the next several minutes. Again, it will be going towards 110 as well, and 55 is next in track over the next about 2 minutes or so, as well as going maybe even towards Highway 52. So again, anywhere near Mendota Heights, as well as just south of St. Paul, make sure that you are seeking shelter immediately, away from windows and lowest floor possible. Definitely a dangerous storm, again, heading off to the northeast. Again, this is Dakota County, Minnesota is where we currently are. This is, again, a pretty dangerous storm that's moving off to the northeast. Population, by the way, is 156,000. So this is a fairly dangerous storm, again, as I mentioned before, that we have an ongoing pretty strong rotation as well. All right, let me try going post this on Twitter real quick. I'm making sure as many people as possible can be able to watch live coverage. Let me do this real quick. Again, if you're just tuning in, make sure the like button helps to get this out to more people. Obviously, this is a very dangerous storm that has had some pretty strong rotation for some time. Obviously, this is pretty strong rotation right here near Interstate 35, moving off to the northeast. And outside of this, by the way, we do have a severe thunderstorm warning. It does include areas, I believe it does include Minneapolis, if I'm not mistaken. And yeah, it includes basically eastern Minneapolis. Again, that is for the potential for damaging winds up to 60. We have a lot of areas embedded in this line of storms that have some rotation as well. So there isn't just one area that's rotating, but this is obviously the main area that we're looking at right now with the strongest rotation. Again, that is near Interstate 35. As of right now, we've had no confirmation, by the way, of a tornado on the ground at this point. But again, one could be on the ground at any time. It could even happen in between radar scans as well. So obviously a very dangerous storm, again, moving off to the northeast right now. All right, here's the latest radar update, and again, velocities are the strongest now. This is the latest update near Highway 55. As I mentioned before, this was the next area in the track within the next 2 minutes. That is now where our strongest rotation is. Again, this will be moving towards Sunfish Lake over the next several minutes, going towards Interstate 494 probably within the next minute or so, as well as near 110, 3, and Highway 52. Obviously, as I mentioned before, very populated area that we're in. Over 150,000 people live in this tornado warning, so it is a very dangerous situation with how many people live near St. Paul. Again, if you know anybody in this area, make sure they're seeking shelter. Again, nothing confirmed as of right now, but our strongest rotation, again, is near 55 as of right now, moving off to the north and northeast. And you can see it here. It's most likely going to be on the rain wrap side, by the way. We do have a good amount of rain here. So, again, do not try to be looking out your window if you're in this area. It's a pretty dangerous storm, as I mentioned before, moving off to the northeast. Again, anywhere near 952, by the way, is also in the track of this. Highway 52, again, just west of Newport, west of basically Highway 61, and basically just east of 5. That's kind of your range here where this tornado warning currently is. The area of rotation is likely going to continue to move up this direction, but anywhere even in Inver Grove Heights, as well as South St. Paul, make sure you're getting to your safe place as well. This is a quick-moving storm, so it can very well change directions at any time. And here's our latest radar update coming in on this. We're going to go and see, I don't think the velocities have updated yet, but again, our area of rotation is probably near 494 now. And here's a look at the live radar. So again, rotation is most likely going to be the strongest now, probably here near Interstate 494. Again, this cell is moving very quickly. This tornado warning, by the way, only goes for 7 more minutes. So it is obviously a very quick tornado warning because as of how fast it's going, that's really why we're seeing it go probably pretty quickly. But we might get a new one if there's still some pretty strong rotation here, which there has been for a while. So again, I cannot rule out that we get a tornado at any time with this storm as it moves off to the northeast. The correlation coefficient drop, I don't see a whole lot. Let me, we're going to look at a next radar scan, which should come in a moment, and we'll take a look. But I don't see a whole lot of a correlation coefficient drop as of right now. Again, this is radar indicated rotation as of right now. That's our latest update as of 2 minutes ago. Again, moving off to the northeast again, it's going to be going towards, I believe, I think I said the name right, but Spearfish as well as South St. Paul, Mendota Heights. By the way, if you're not already in shelter, get there immediately. Our strongest rotation is now located near Sunfish Lake, near just over Interstate 494. Let me take a look at the correlation coefficient now. And again, I'm not seeing anything in terms of a drop on there, so we're not looking at anything that looks to be on the ground, it looks like, as of now. But again, that could change at any time. We could even see a tornado in between radar scans. That it does happen quite often. So definitely not out of the question that we could see a brief tornado in between radar scans here, but that is where our strongest rotation is as of right now. Again, near Sunfish Lake, moving off to the northeast fairly quickly. And again, basically St. Paul is the main area really going to be in the track of this over the next several minutes. So again, make sure you're seeking shelter immediately away from windows and lowest floor possible if you're anywhere in this area. There was a brief tornado lasted 2 scans, was there? One was that. Do we have any timing on that? So much lightning, I wouldn't doubt it. There's definitely a lot of lightning with these storms. These are very, very potent storms that are moving through this area. And again, we have basically a QLCS situation ongoing right now. So definitely a very dangerous storm, to say the least. And really, this entire line is pretty dangerous. I'm going to take a look, though, if we have any reports of that coming in. Again, as of right now, it is just a radar indicated rotation. I'm not seeing anything that's been confirmed at this point yet, but I might have missed that. We do have a new severe thunderstorm warning, by the way, for Dodge, Minnesota for 60-mile-per-hour winds. Latest scan, by the way, a little bit less rotation. Looks like the winds going towards the radar are a little bit weaker. We still have some rotation, though, there near 110. Still, again, this could very well tighten at any time, so we're going to have to watch this very closely. If we can get, by the way, if anybody has the exact timing on when the tornado may have been on the ground, let me know. Slippy, I would assume, probably knows, but it might have happened before I went live, or it may even happened when I was live. I'm not entirely sure. There was a quick CC drop. Do you know what time that was at? Hey, Daniel, how you doing? Welcome back. Let me go back over to, let's go to here, and let's take a look again. The correlation coefficient showed, it looks like a little bit of a drop here, but I'm pretty sure that's just a radar error. Yeah, that's just a radar error. That's not defined by any means. That is, again, our area where the rotation is currently ongoing. It's going really now along 952. It's going to be heading into St. Paul, by the way, in the next few minutes. So, again, pretty dangerous situation where this is heading as of right now. It is potentially heading into areas like St. Paul. So, we do have to watch the storm extremely closely. Again, St. Paul, west of Woodbury. Again, if it's able to strengthen, this could be a very dangerous situation for those in St. Paul. So, again, anybody in the track of this, just make sure you're getting to shelter. If you know anybody, again, in this area, make sure you're making sure that they're aware of this. Give them a call, give them a text. If they're anywhere near St. Paul, again, this is in a very populated region. Yeah, there's a large population. We're already talking 150,000 in just this tornado warning. Outside of there, near St. Paul, it's upwards of almost 350,000. So, again, if you know anybody in this area, just make sure you're making sure they're aware of it. Make sure to hit the like button, too. That also helps people to be able to see live streams like this as well if they're in the warning. So, we do have a damage report coming in, by the way. Trees downed as well. I'm trying to figure out what the location is. This is back near Egan, I believe. So we do have trees that have been downed. There may have been a tornado on the ground back near Egan. So that seems like where we've had that report. And I'll go back on the scans, by the way. If the tornado warning does get upheld, we'll go and take a look back a little bit to see if there was actually a tornado on the ground at that time via the correlation coefficient. So we'll keep you updated. Here's the latest radar scan. I'm seeing a lot less rotation now, so it looks like we're starting to see a weakening trend. Definitely don't let your guard down, though, if you're in St. Paul, because, again, this could re-strengthen at any time. So, again, a QLCS situation, but it does seem like we're starting to see a little bit more of it bowing out here, which would be good news. It's going to be more of a damaging wind threat if that continues, but watch it closely. We will go back again in a few minutes and take a look at the correlation coefficient back when there might have been damage, by the way, so we'll take a look at that here in a minute. But again, this is currently moving off to the northeast fairly quickly. Again, near St. Paul. Very populated region as of right now. Yeah, this is a very dangerous situation for anybody in St. Paul. Again, if you were even in the downtown area and you're not in the warning, I would still just get away from windows, get into your lowest floor possible, just in case. It's a good I can't talk. A good measure, though, to be able to, just stay safe, just in case there were to be a tornado. And it's always good to be safe. Anyways, it's always good to have, your safety plan in place. It's a good way to practice it as well, just in case there might be something. Again, it could very well redevelop as it moves towards Interstate 94. But it does seem like it's bowing out a little bit, which would be good news on this specific cell. Now, we could see something outside of this. That's not out of the question, but definitely a dangerous storm moving off to the northeast, or north-northeast, going towards Interstate 94. And Maplewood, by the way, will be in the track of this. Again, this is near St. Paul as of right now. Again, pretty dangerous storm as of right now, moving off to the north-northeast. Yeah, we may have had already a tornado with this, by the way. It might have been a brief one, but I've only had damage reports so far come in on this, but no confirmation so far in an actual tornado. We've had damage reports, though, coming in from the area where the strongest rotation was, so there may have been a tornado, but it's, again, not confirmed. As of right now, though, it's just radar indicated, so it seems like we've lost a lot of the rotation on this. But we have our next radar update coming in here in a moment, so we'll keep you updated. And it seems like we're starting to lose that rotation, which is good news. Let me go back over to the velocities again. I think it should be updating here pretty shortly. And here's the latest radar update. Here's the rotation. It seems to be weaker, not nearly as strong, so I do think that tornado warning will be let to expire. Now, obviously, we could see a new one issued if it starts to strengthen again, so I'm going to stay alive at least for the next 15 to 20 minutes or so, just in case, because I do think we could see this re-strengthen. Again, it's a QLCS situation, so that is currently what we're looking at as of right now. Yeah, rotation definitely weakened pretty quickly, but obviously we very well could see something new here pretty shortly. Let me go back over to this. Let's just go and change it to tornado possible. We do no longer have a tornado warning, but obviously that could change at any time. We are watching a pretty dangerous cell. Again, near St. Paul is where we've had some rotation. I'm going to go back here to the velocities. Let's go ahead and do that. And this is a look at it as of right now. Again, where we had that rotation was here. So, and by the way, the radar scans are coming in very, very quickly. So we will be able to tell, if there is something ongoing within seconds, most likely. So I'll keep you updated. We have a brand new tornado warning that has been issued for another 8 minutes. We have a new tornado warning. Brand new tornado warning. It's going to be for Dakota, Minnesota. So we're still in the same area. Brand new tornado warning for another 8 minutes. Unless this is a glitch, but I don't think it is. Let me double check. Okay, I think it's a glitch. Yeah, I don't think that's new, but there might have been. Is that a glitch? It's on my other software here. All right, for now, I don't think there's a tornado warning, but it does say on this end. I'll keep you updated. It says it goes until 10:08, but I don't see a new one. It's on the same cell, as I mentioned before. This cell, again, has still had some rotation, but I do think it's a little bit broader. Here's the latest warning update, by the way. We are, again, just condensing this a little bit. Still ongoing, tornado possible, so we very well could see some rotation redevelop on this at any time. But as of right now, it seems to, again, be more of a damaging wind threat, and obviously a brief tornado can't be ruled out in a couple of these areas. Again, our rotation that is still remaining is basically here near Highway 9 or Interstate 94. So just keep that in mind. I do think my radar did glitch out, though. Okay, it's a glitch. Thank you. All right. All right, so we still have an ongoing tornado possible with this, but there's no new tornado warning, just for clarification. Looks like that glitched out. Let me go back over to here real quick, and we will take a look at Twitter and see if we have any new reports coming in. And I'm seeing a lot of good, by the way, I'm seeing a lot of photos on Twitter. I'm very glad that, people took shelter and whatnot. I see a lot of people taking shelter from this storm. They have photos on there as well. Really great to see that people were taking shelter, taking the proper precautions and whatnot with this storm. But again, damaging winds, by the way, definitely going to be becoming a concern with this as it moves through St. Paul. We are talking potentially 60 to 65 miles per hour. Moving through the downtown St. Paul area, as well as even Minneapolis, they're starting to see some strong storms, if not maybe even a little bit of severe weather, back over to the west. So we are definitely still seeing some severe weather with this as this tracks off again to the north and as well as the northeast. Again, our area of rotation that still remains is near Maplewood. We'll watch that closely as that continues to drift off to the north and northeast. I'm going to continue to look and see if we have any new reports, though, coming out on Twitter. We'll take a look. Let me change my title, by the way, because it's no longer a tornado warning. Let's go over to... I'm going to change it back to severe weather coverage for now. Yeah, I'll take a look at the correlation coefficient here in a second. I'll go back a few scans. I'm going to wait for the next radar scan, and we'll take a look from there. Our next radar scan comes in right now. So after that, if there's not anything too crazy that develops, I'll go back a few minutes to see what the rotation looked like, and as well as the correlation coefficient. But yeah, there may have been some contamination. As Slippy said, there may have been some contamination on the radar. It's not out of the question. Yeah, there's still some rotation there. I mean, it's definitely still there. Again, it's not nearly as strong as before near Maplewood, but there is definitely some rotation. It is very rain-wrapped. It's definitely not nearly as organized either, so just kind of keep that in mind. It does seem like it's weakened a bit, but it's definitely an area to still watch. Again, now this is now northeast of St. Paul is where that rotation is, so still an area to watch over the next several minutes, but again, it does seem like we start to see it weaken out just a little bit. Let me go back a few scans, because we did, again, have stronger rotation before. I'm curious to see if we had anything on the ground. Somebody said there may have been a little bit of a CC drop back here, so we'll go and take a look. This was back here near Egan, so I'm going to kind of match this up. This was 8:45. This is when we're in Egan right here, just about there. I think our next scan, okay, so remember these times for me, 8:45 and as well as 8:48 or so. And let's go and match that up with the correlation coefficient. We'll see if there was actually a tornado on the ground, at least indicative by radar. Let me go and make sure this. All right, there we go. So this is a look at it at about 8:45, the first one. There may have been a little bit of something. It might have also been contamination. And then about 8:48. Let me zoom back up to here. And I'm not seeing anything that definitive, but there may have been something. Again, it could have very well been brief as well. It's hard to tell, especially with what we saw. There was nothing clear and definitive, but there may have been something brief. Again, there might have even been a tornado in between radar scans. We did have a damage report coming in from, I can't remember where it was. I think it was near Interstate 494, though. There was a confirmation of trees down that may have been associated with this tornado warning cell from earlier. So that's the only report so far that we do have damage. So, but obviously there probably will be more to come at some point, but that's the latest update on this ongoing storm. Check Twitter. All right, let me take a look. What in the world is going on there? What? That looks like a lot of rain. So yeah, St. Paul is being rained out more than anything. There's a lot of rain there from that video that you sent. We do have an update, by the way, on the warning back down in Dodge County, Minnesota. That is for damaging winds up to 60. The hail potential is still under penny size, so basically no hail threat with that cell. That's a new update. I got you, Squidward. Yeah, a few people mentioned it. The correlation coefficient didn't seem to drop that dramatically, but definitely not out of the question that we may have seen something brief there. Again, we'll stay live for another few minutes. We'll see if anything does develop, but obviously this did kind of come out of nowhere. We do have another warning down here to the south, by the way. This is our brand new severe thunderstorm warning back down here near Kasan and West Concord for 60-mile-per-hour damaging winds. So that's another warning that we have ongoing there. We have a couple of other ones down in Iowa. We'll get to those at some point, but for right now, we're going to stay on the storm here near St. Paul. That's again moving off to the northeast. Again, if you're just tuning in for the first time and you want more severe weather coverage like this, make sure to hit the subscribe button down below. Like the video if you've not already. It's free to subscribe. Would appreciate it. See you later, Clocks. Appreciate you stopping by and tuning in. Thank you, Kimberly, by the way, for the report. Appreciate it. All right, let me back over to the correlation. Let's go back to the velocities. And we're getting our next radar scan now, so we'll take a look. Again, this is our area of it seems weaker rotation at this point near St. Paul. That is North St. Paul. That's kind of where the rotation is now. Again, it's not tornado warned, but it is an area that we still have a little bit of rotation in. It seems to be much weaker, though, so if we do see a tornado, it's likely going to be brief. So brief in nature more than anything, but we'll take a look at the next radar scan and see what is happening with this. And obviously the rotations will be further up here in the next scan. I do think we're starting to see it become outflow driven though, which is good news. And yeah, the rotation's definitely starting to fizzle out on this storm, which is again, very good news. Obviously there's much more rotation at the very beginning of this, but here's the wind gust report we had, by the way, at Richfield of 54 miles per hour. So that is one of the wind gust reports that we've had come in there. Let me see if we have any more METAR data coming in. And we will take a look at the winds on this real quick. And near St. Paul, we had a 25, but that was about almost 20. That was about 15, 20 minutes ago before the storm rolled through. But we did have a 54 down at the Richfield Airport. So we'll keep an eye on that, obviously, as it unfolds. We also had another one from earlier, by the way, of a 52 back down near areas in southwestern Minnesota. So a couple of warnings there. We have another new warning back down in northwestern portions of Iowa as well. So I have a few warnings actually ongoing. More activity than what we had when we were live earlier. So I am live again, Ashley. Yeah, we had a pretty surprising tornado warning near St. Paul, and again, it's a much more populated region. So there was another one before that, but I was in the middle of doing something, so I wasn't able to go live for that. Any DFW shenanigans? Maybe some rain on Monday and Tuesday and Wednesday. It seems like we'll have early to midweek rain, showers and storms, but make sure to go on our Facebook page, by the way, for the latest information on that. All right, we are currently on, let's take a look. It's right now 9:06. We have our next radar update coming in now. So we'll take a look at the next radar scan, see if there's anything that's developing in this region. It seems to be more of a damaging wind threat, though, as of right now, going through at least northern St. Paul now, probably going toward White Bear Lake, and then probably towards Hugo, Lino Lake, Stillwater, those areas, kind of on the outskirts of the Metroplex, or whatever you want to call it in this area. Definitely an area to kind of keep in mind. Again, these storms will be moving off to the north and northeast over the next several minutes. Hey, Bello, how you doing? Hopefully you're staying safe over there. These have been some pretty crazy storms. We have a brand new severe thunderstorm warning, by the way, for damaging winds up to 60 miles per hour, and it's still a tornado possible. Again, moving off to the northeast, that will be including Forest Lakes, as well as Lino Lakes, Lindstrom, Scola? I don't know if I'm probably not saying the name right. As well as Star Prairie, New Richmond, Roberts, and Hudson, all included in a brand new severe thunderstorm warning for damaging winds up to 60 miles per hour. So again, brand new severe thunderstorm warning has just been issued for this region as it moves off to the northeast. Again, we have several trees down and several roads are not passable in portions of eastern St. Paul. That may be associated with damaging winds, but it also possibly was a tornado. So just a new update there. But again, we have a lot of damage reports coming in from those areas that have had seems to be probably some sort of at least damaging winds, or if not, maybe even a tornado. So that's the reports that we have coming in so far. Sorry, to restart my software. It kept saying critically high RAM, which I don't even know what that means. All right, let's go back over to here. Let's go back over to the velocities. Let's see. I think we have a new radar scan that just came out. We are back. Actually, we're up to 7 severe thunderstorm warnings. We have a lot of warnings all of a sudden. And again, when I was live earlier, we didn't have a whole lot. So definitely a big upgrade from earlier. Here is a look at the velocities on this storm, if I can go ahead and pull it up correctly. And it seems like, as I mentioned before, we are starting to see a broadened rotation here. So as probably what's going to happen is that this storm is going to continue to track off to the northeast. I do think it's more outflow driven now, so I do think it's going to start to probably not be nearly as pronounced. If it's able to rotate, it's probably going to be a brief spin up, if not maybe a very, very brief tornado. But I do think that tornado potential is kind of dropped on this storm now, but we'll keep you posted if anything does obviously change or develop. How far northeast is this storm going to go? I mean, realistically, it's probably going to go towards areas like Spooner and Rice Lake. It probably will not be the same intensity, though, as it is right now. But realistically, it'll probably go at least into maybe portions of maybe Spooner, kind of western Wisconsin. That's kind of my main area of concern at this point for this storm. But I do think it's going to probably weaken over the next few hours. It probably will last through the overnight, but I think it's going to be more of a rain threat later on, so... Hey, how you doing, Baldy? Welcome back. Going today. But yeah, as of right now, again, as I mentioned before, 7 severe thunderstorm warnings. We actually still have a lot of warnings out there, so... Ivan, I would at least stay away from windows if you're in these warnings, but no reason to go into, you know, shelter or anything like that. Just make sure you're away from windows. Be in the lowest floor at least, you know. Damage winds up to 60 can definitely knock over trees. We've seen a lot of reports of that in St. Paul already, so we've obviously had a lot of damage reports here, and that will likely continue through areas like Stillwater, Hudson, New Richmond, Star Prairie, as I mentioned before, Lidstrom, Forest Lake, Lino Lakes, Roberts. All those areas can be the potential for damaging winds up to 60, and again, tornado is still possible in this, so... we are definitely still going to be monitoring this for some rotation. We definitely have some high winds, by the way, near St. Paul. Let me see if I can bring up the actual wind speeds on here. And they're estimated around 62 near North St. Paul. So we are definitely seeing some high winds with these storms. And they're pretty close to about 6. They're pretty much in the same area. 65 is actually being estimated near Shoreview. So we are seeing some very high wind gusts in this area. So just keep that in mind. We have very high damaging winds still going through here. Even if there's not a tornado threat, we are still seeing some damaging winds. So... no, Sarah, this is technically my second live stream, because I had a live stream like an hour ago. So. But yeah, Ivan, you should definitely be in shelter, or not shelter, I mean, be on alert at least if you're in this region. I'm back over to here. See if we have new updates on these warnings. All right, no new updates on these warnings as of right now. Again, we have more severe thunderstorm warnings down to the south, but... we're primarily focused on these for right now. We have 7 total severe thunderstorm warnings, so definitely a load of warnings ongoing. Let me go back over to the velocities. I don't think it's updated. Yeah, we have some very high winds, as I mentioned before. And yeah, we're starting to see a lot less rotation, but I'm going to still stay live just in case, because I do think we still have a chance for maybe an isolated brief spin up along this line still. Over the next several minutes, we'll have to watch it closely. But again, still waters in the track of this over the next several minutes as it moves off to the northeast. No, Illinois is not in severe weather. No, you are fine in Illinois tonight. You are all good. Illinois is not in the track of this storm. But Illinois may have a chance for severe weather. I don't think tomorrow, but maybe Monday. Tomorrow will be primarily back out to the west. Tomorrow's going to be more, I think, more of an active severe weather day, especially for northern and central Minnesota for damaging winds, large hail, maybe even a few tornadoes. So tomorrow will be an active day. I'll probably be live tomorrow night for that. So make sure, again, if you're just tuning in, hit the subscribe button down below. Make sure to like the video as well. How you doing, Jaws? Welcome back. Anything for Louisiana? Nope, nothing for Louisiana today. Actually, by the way, if you haven't already heard, we have 4 areas of development in the Atlantic Ocean. I'm going to have a big tropics forecast tomorrow, so stay tuned. Again, a lot of stuff in the tropics right now. I'm going to have a big forecast for that tomorrow. Hey, Sniper, how you doing? Yes, anywhere in Ohio has a chance for severe weather next week, too. It'll probably be on Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday, or possibly even a few of those days. So next week will be pretty active over that region. Negatively tilted trough will return. So we'll be watching that closely as well. Anything for Texas? Not a whole lot, but some scattered showers and storms will be possible next week. Theodore, we'll see. As of right now, we're still in a tornado possible. Again, we could very well see another brief instance of some sort of rotation in this little cluster of storms. But as of right now, no tornado warnings, but we'll watch closely. A little bit of trying to rotate back up there near Lino Lakes, but nothing too crazy. Again, our rotation has really fizzled out. It was basically here. It's kind of gone away. I think this area of storms is becoming outflow driven. So that would hinder the overall chances of any tornado threat, but we will watch it closely just in case anything does kind of spin up here as this moves off to the northeast. And I mean, before I was live for about an hour and a half, we didn't have a whole lot of severe weather. All of a sudden, everything kind of kicked into the gear last hour or so. So it got really active really quick. Wisconsin is more of a tomorrow threat, but there might be some severe weather if you're in western Wisconsin. So west of Highway 53, I would say, will be your best chance. We do have a new wind gust report, by the way, coming in St. Paul of 61 miles per hour. That's it. Again, this is Ramsey County, Minnesota. So in St. Paul, again, a 61 mile per hour wind gust. So we are obviously seeing some wind gusts between 60 to 65 in this area. Hey, I responded to you, Jaws. I responded. By the way, we have an update on the warning down to the south. I believe it just got condensed a little bit. The warning over here, still ongoing for West Concord. The storm's moving east at about 40 miles per hour. It's a quick movement cell as well. This is one that is producing damaging winds up to 60. That'll be going towards Pine Island and Rochester, potentially. This area actually had a tornado warning a couple months ago. A month or two ago. I remember being live for that one, too. Thank you, Scott, for the report. Stay safe. Stay safe. If you're on any of these warnings, by the way, again, make sure you're getting away from windows. Again, trees have been falling a lot in St. Paul. We've had a lot of reports of that. So biggest concern as of right now is damaging winds with these cells, but obviously definitely not out of the question that we could maybe even see maybe even a brief spit up with one of these storms over the next 30 to 45 minutes as they continue to track off to the east and as well as these ones up here to the northeast. I'm going to take a look and see if we have anything new coming in on Twitter on these storms. Yeah, these storms really escalated really quickly. Pretty crazy. Yeah, the wind was crazy, by the way. I'm talking at least 60 mile per hour winds, though, with a lot of this area of storms. I mean, it very well could even be a little bit higher as well. We do have an update on the warning, by the way, in Buena Vista County, Iowa, as well as Clay County, Iowa. Still 60 mile per hour winds. So, latest update there. I responded, Jones. I responded. Thank you for subscribing, by the way. Shane, as well as Zombie. Appreciate it, guys. Storm just spawned and hit St. Paul. Yeah, it really came out of nowhere. A lot of these storms really develop quickly. It's pretty crazy. Weather can change in an instant, and that's why this area was under that threat for severe weather today. And the latest update from the Storm Prediction Center, still a marginal threat of severe weather across areas like southeast Minnesota, western Wisconsin. And we do obviously have a little bit of a tornado threat. And actually, the tornado threat, funny enough, is back out here. Obviously, tornadoes can happen outside of that. So, kind of for reference. Knoxville, Tennessee, nothing there. Nothing there. You're good. No severe weather is expected there. We have an update, by the way. This warning, by the way, got condensed. So, St. Paul no longer in the severe thunderstorm warning, just for reference. You're good, miss. All good. Hey, again, if you're just tuning in for the first time, hit the subscribe button down below. We're only 13 likes away from 150, so make sure to hit the like button too. Helps out the page a lot. Let me go over to, let's see if we have, by the way, we have a lot of damage reports coming in out of St. Paul. A lot of them are related to most likely straight line winds. We have shingles blown off a roof in North St. Paul. So that's our latest update there. North St. Paul, apparently we do have some shingles that were blown off a roof. That may have been from wind damage at the time. The rotation was a bit weaker. Power poles are also broken in Woodbury. And let me take a look and see if we have anything else. Down near Egan, we have several reports of tree limbs down, as well as shingles blown off another roof down in Egan. So Egan was the area that we possibly had a tornado on the ground. We're not entirely sure. Again, it might have been brief, but that was near Interstate 35. So that area, we have confirmation of some more tree limbs down, as well as some shingles blown off a roof. So that's the latest update there as well. So a lot of crazy stuff with these storms. And again, it happened in an instant. I mean, these storms really changed quickly. Pretty crazy to say the least. And I know I have a lot of viewers here from the Minnesota, you know, the metro, I don't know what it's called, the metropolitan area, whatever you want to call it here in Minneapolis. So obviously I wanted to go live just in case. And we've had some pretty crazy weather here. Again, if you haven't already, by the way, join our Discord server. The link's going to be in the chat. Get updates off the stream and all that sort of stuff. We do have a new photo coming in or something along those lines near Prior Lake, Minnesota. There was some insane damaging winds there. Near the Minnesota State Fair was going on, and there was some insane winds and stuff like that. Let me go and retweet this on our Twitter page. So, Evan, if you're watching, if you have any chance, just make sure to see if you can get permission on that video. Actually, I can do it real quick. Actually, I can do it. All right, I'm gonna see if I can get permission on this video. If I can, I'll go and show it. It's insane, though. Jaws, yes, I did have that. I did have that thought before. I was thinking about doing that. That was a message on Discord. But yeah, I've been thinking about doing that, but I haven't. Hey, Kaden, you're totally fine. Don't worry about it. Appreciate you watching. That's more important than anything. See you later, Moxie. Appreciate you stopping by. Let me see if I can get permission on this video, though. If I can, then I'll go ahead and I'll go ahead and show you guys. But see, it's a crazy video though. There's apparently the Minnesota State Fair is ongoing, so that is crazy to say the least. All right, I got permission. Let's go and show it. This is insane what we're looking at here. This is in the this is at the Minnesota State Park. The video is gonna be a bit blurry here, but it is pouring. The wind is whipping, and the people are all trying to find shelter, and there's simply no shelter. This is insanity, to say the least. And unfortunately, this is at a state fair. Typically, there's not a whole lot of shelter, so yeah, this is pretty insane. Yeah, and at the state fair in Minnesota, the wind is whipping. Wow, I mean, this is crazy. And again, this is Minnesota State Fair. Let me see if I have any more information on this. I'm not sure the exact location of where the state fair was. Let's see. So yeah, this hit the state fair. Where does anybody know the exact location of this? This is incredible. It's hard to tell because obviously the lighting and stuff like that. It's nighttime, but you can see the rain. It's just going horizontal across the screen here. So yeah, I mean, this is insane. All the people, by the way, they're just trying to get under a tree. That's obviously, by the way, that's not safe during a thunderstorm by any means, but yeah, this is pretty incredible. Also, this is retweeted on our Twitter, by the way, if you want to retweet it. This was sent in, by the way, by Cannon Halton on Twitter. So this is pretty incredible, though. Minnesota has the largest state fair? Really? I didn't know that. That's pretty insane. Again, if you're just tuning in, hit the like button, by the way. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't already. Again, that's a crazy clip. I'll go ahead and link the tweet, by the way, to show her some support. Person that sent it in. Again, we have it tweeted on our Twitter as well. By the way, we are currently in Minnesota. That is, again, where that happened. That was at the Minnesota State Fair. Crazy stuff. Crazy stuff. Feels weird not going to work. You're not working today? That is pretty incredible, though, to say the least. Wait, did we get a location on the Minnesota State Fair? That was in St. Paul? Okay. That's crazy. St. Paul had the State Fair, apparently. That was pretty incredible, to say the least, there. Falcon Heights by St. Paul. Okay, I gotcha. Guessing that's one of these outskirt areas. I'm not sure where that might be, but yeah, there was some winds. Again, 60 to 65 miles per hour that went through this area. Hopefully everybody stayed safe, by the way. That was a very dangerous situation, to say the least, that we saw there. And people trying to seek shelter. We have another video coming in. Let's go and take a look at this one. I'm not sure if I'll be able to show this one. We'll see. Looks like just a storm rolling in Minnesota. There's some lightning and whatnot. Lots of power flashes, though, in this area. I'll see if I can... Okay, I can show this one. So this was sent in by Brian. So we have some power flashes as well over in... This was from a little bit ago. I'm not sure what the city was. All right, we have a zip code. Let me look this up. Zip code. This is in Minneapolis. Okay, so Minneapolis area. This is where we saw some power flashes in the background here. You can kind of see them. It's kind of hard to see, but that's your power flashes or a lot of lightning. That looks like more of power flashes more than anything. I don't have a good color for this. But power flashes back here, it looks like. And a lot of lightning up here as well. So, yeah, this is what happened over in Minneapolis. Again, there may have been a tornado, but that is some serious power flashes there. Hard to see, but it only lasts a few seconds. Very, very bright blue. Typically represents some power flashes. So, another crazy clip sent in. Again, this was sent in by, let me confirm who this was. This was sent in by Brian O'Shea. Oh, another crazy clip. out of Minnesota. Minneapolis, to be specific. But power flash is when, you know, like a generator explodes or something like that from, you know, lightning and whatnot. So if lightning strikes, you know, the power poles or something like that, that's when you can see power flashes. They also happen with tornadoes, so quite often that we see that. Thank you, by the way, Deb and Baby Butter Sasquatch for subscribing, by the way. Appreciate it. Welcome. Interesting name. Thank you guys all for subscribing, by the way. If you haven't already, hit the subscribe button. Helps support our page a lot. Would appreciate it. Free to do. We do live streams like this all the time, by the way. Even for your location. If you live in the United States, you'll be able to get live streams on your location for any severe weather events, or for most of them at least. And also, we do a lot of video forecasts daily, so would appreciate it. Was there a tornado? It's unconfirmed, but there may have been a brief tornado somewhere near Egan. That's kind of in this region here, near Interstate 35. Again, it's unconfirmed, but we had some damage reports come out of that region. So, thank you, Kat. Appreciate it. Man, it's pretty insane, though. Just because I'm going to do this one more time. I'm going to go and show this one more time. This is, again, the crazy clip that we saw earlier. We actually have audio on this. I don't know if there's any swearing, so heads up. Oh, this person's actually in the car. That's insane. This person's literally in the car on this video. So they don't even have to deal with the brunt of these people that are so unfortunately in the rain. Yeah, this is at the State Fair of Minnesota. Back over to here. We actually have a video coming out of Buffalo from 10 minutes ago. I'll go and take a look at that. All right, so by the way, this is the report. This is even crazier. Another crazy report coming out of this that you might be shocked by. Apparently, there were reports coming in the State Fair was evacuated before the storm rolled in. But these are the people that decided, no, I'm not evacuating. That is why these people are out in the rain. They were told to leave, they didn't. This is what happens. So that is crazy. By the way, we have an update on the warning down in Iowa. It's still 60-mile-per-hour winds. Again, that's for Clay County, Iowa. So yeah, apparently that's the story behind this, that there was reports of this being okay, so we actually have a report. Let me go over to this. So we have a report coming in. Again, these are the people that were stragglers. Do we have that camera? Let me go over to this. I think we might have, let me go and see if we have a camera of this, but there was a traffic cam in the area. All right, I can show this briefly. I'll go and show you guys real quick. This is the people evacuating. Let me go and put this onto another video here. This is a look at the people, though, that were supposed to be evacuating. Right here. That's the evacuations. Those are the people that were smart. The other people, they just stayed. They stayed for the worst of it. So that's what ended up happening. So pretty crazy stuff. Again, that's at the Minnesota State Fair that we had some pretty hefty winds and whatnot. We also have another video coming out of Buffalo. This is from Miss Pink on Twitter. Let me go and show you guys this. A little cool video as well. Again, if you have any videos, feel free to tweet me, but this is over in the Buffalo area, so a lot of lightning, as you can see here, out in the distance. I'm not sure, is this today? Oh, this is 10 minutes ago, actually, so very recent. Thunder and lightning out that direction, so a lot of crazy stuff going today. Again, all this kind of ramped up really quickly. We have another report coming in. Let me go and take a look at this. Again, these are the warnings that are currently ongoing northeast now of St. Paul. The lightning's insane. Yeah, there's a lot of lightning with these storms. Let me see. Okay, I can show this one. This is another one coming out of the Minnesota area. This is insane. Look at all the lightning flashes on this one. Is that Buffalo, Minnesota? Not sure. I just said Buffalo. I'm kind of used to New York, but yeah, you can see all the lightning here. Another insane video. Lots of flashes. This was again in, let me confirm the location here. No location was given. But this was another one. I believe this was in Minnesota, most likely in the metropolitan area. So a lot of crazy videos. Again, if you have any videos, feel free to tweet me on Twitter, but a lot of crazy stuff. Again, if you're just tuning in for the first time, friendly reminder, hit the subscribe button down below. We do live streams like this all the time. Would appreciate it. We are closing in, actually. We're only 25 subscribers from 16,600. All right, so that was Minnesota, but no city, by the way. So just to confirm, that was Minnesota. Obviously, it's not another state, by the way, in that video. Hey, John, how you doing? Welcome back. Crazy stuff. Crazy stuff. I'm telling you. I mean, we actually have wind damage coming in. Okay, so we have a new couple of reports coming in. Minneapolis, by the way, and Falcon Heights. That is where we had, again, that state fair ongoing that people decided not to evacuate in. 61-mile-per-hour wind gusts was reported there. That's in Ramsey County. Maplewood, we also had trees blocking a roadway. So, and that is possibly either from damaging winds, which seems pretty likely. There's 61-mile-per-hour wind gusts, or that may have been from a brief tornado. But I do think that tornado, if there was one, probably happened down here in Interstate 35. So that is the new updates there. Crazy stuff. That's all I gotta say. A lot of crazy stuff. We have another thing coming in. Another thing I can show here. This is some damage. This is what the tree, it looks like, was the before picture. Let me actually just go and let me do this on the other thing so we can zoom in on it. All right, so we have a before and after picture of the tree, by the way. This is in Summit Hill. So just kind of give you reference. This is in Summit Hill. This is a before picture of the tree. And I don't know if it's really necessary, but this is the after picture. So you can clearly see completely snapped in half. Here's your tree. It's kind of dark, so you can kind of see this. This is your tree right here. Here's your branch that's fallen down. Tree basically snapped in half. That's in Summit Hill, Minnesota. Again, a lot of crazy stuff in this area. Storms got wild very quickly. So, that's again what we've seen. And just because, I'm going to show it one more time, those that may be just tuning in. I know we have a lot of new viewers that have just been tuning into the craziness that's unfolded. This is, again, our original video that we had coming in. This is, again, from Weather Cannon on Twitter. Again, this is the Minnesota State Fair. Again, this is a pretty known event, by the way. This is one of the bigger state fairs. So, crazy stuff. Crazy stuff. Yeah, it's pretty incredible, again, that what we've seen here, but yeah, the state fair is pretty big, so obviously I'm not entirely sure, again, what we entirely saw here in terms of, obviously, evacuations were ongoing. I'm not sure how long the evacuations were. We don't have the full details on it, but that is basically what we saw there. Again, winds were crazy there. Again, that was Weather Cannon on Twitter. Man, it's crazy, though. I mean, the fair apparently is pretty big event, so yeah, always, again, if you ever get, recommended to make sure you get away, take shelter or whatever, make sure you do it, because apparently that's the story that a lot of people weren't taking shelter. So those are the people that just weren't getting out in time. Alrighty, let me take a look real quick at the warnings and see if we have any new updates there. Let's go over to... So as of right now, we have 3 severe thunderstorm warnings. So let me go ahead and see if we have any... Alright, so the other 2 warnings are down in Iowa. So the only warning that we really have ongoing still, that is still currently ongoing, is the one here near Stillwater. Let's real quickly take a look and see if we have any rotation still ongoing. I do think for the most part it has subsided, but we will take a quick look. And yeah, the rotation's definitely subsided. So I'm going to go and take the tornado possible label off this because it's still on the warning, but I do think the overall rotation is definitely minimalized at this point. Discord link, let me go and post it in chat. If you haven't joined our Discord, by the way, make sure to join our Discord server. Again, we have a great community on there. You can talk to me off stream, by the way, if you want. Again, make sure to join our Discord server. Links in the chat. You can also send in photos or videos. If you have any photos or videos, feel free to tweet me on Twitter as well. Yeah, that's, again, very, very, very insane. I mean, this is easily one of the craziest things I've seen when it comes to a state fair. Yeah, I've seen state fairs before, and there's been some serious wins at state fairs before, and that's just another instance of where we've seen some very crazy stuff. Definitely not going to get over that, though. That's pretty incredible. Hopefully, again, everybody stayed safe. Hopefully, nobody got injured from that. Obviously, there probably was some sort of minor injuries, because obviously there was a lot of wind there. We had 60-mile-per-hour winds ongoing there, so some crazy stuff. Alrighty. So, I do think we're going to pretty much be done here. Let me go and take a look and see if we have anything new coming in. So right now we don't. So, All right, if you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the chat. I'll probably be live for another 12 minutes or so. We do have a brand new severe thunderstorm warning, actually, that's been issued. This one also has a tornado possible. This is for eastern St. Paul. This would be for areas near Ellsworth, Red Wing, Goodhue, as well as Spring Valley, River Falls, all included in a brand new severe thunderstorm warning. This is for damaging winds up to 60. We also have an ongoing tornado possible. There may be some rotation down here, actually. Near Goodhue. Let me go over to the reflectivity. It's glitching out, unfortunately. Let me fix this real quick. Reason it's glitching out. That's our potential rotation here. Near Red Wing. It seems like a weird spot to have some rotation, but there might be a little bit of rotation there, if not just some damaging winds. There is also a little bit of a couple of notches here back up near Ellsworth. So, again, tornado possible on this one. I'm going to go back over to the tornado possible screen. Looks like we have to do a couple of areas of rotation, though, here. This is going to go towards Plum City and Wisconsin. So, western Wisconsin's the next area in track of this. But crazy stuff. Crazy stuff. Hey, appreciate it, With. Appreciate it. All right, so we do have a new update, by the way. Winds gusted at 60 miles per hour at the St. Paul airport, by the way. I think I already mentioned that, but if I didn't, it's just a new update. And we also have a big pine tree, a 40-foot pine tree, blew over in the backyard of somebody's house over in Chanhassen. Is that name right? That's in Minnesota. I'm going to retweet it on our Twitter. Again, if you're not on our Twitter, I'll go ahead and link that in chat as well. But we have a lot of photos and videos on Twitter, so if you want to check those out. Yeah, I've shown a few on screen, so I might show a couple more again here in a minute, but I'm not sure what city that is. It says Chanhassen, though, so I think that might be the town or city. Thank you, Jaden, by the way, and Angela for subscribing. I appreciate it, guys. Welcome. Yes, I'll have a full forecast on that tomorrow, by the way, Grant. Full forecast on the tropics coming tomorrow. Stay tuned. Hey, you too, Jason. Have a great rest of your night. We'll see you again soon. Thank you, Robert. Thank you. I'm not the best for pronunciations, but I think we're getting better now. All right. I appreciate it, Laura. Appreciate your support. Yeah, again, I do this quite often, so you'll see me live. Again, I'll probably be live tomorrow night, too, for tomorrow's severe weather event, so it's going to be another busy night tomorrow for sure. So again, if you want to stay tuned, more Minnesota severe weather is going to be possible tomorrow. Again, make sure to hit the subscribe button. We're only 6 away from 16,600, so we appreciate if you hit the subscribe button. We do have a brand new tornado warning that's just been issued. Again, brand new tornado warning. We are going to stay live. We have a brand new tornado warning that has just been issued. I'm trying to get the exact location. This is in Goodhue area. This is the Goodhue area that we have a brand new tornado warning. It has not popped up on my end yet, but it just got issued. And there it is. So brand new tornado warning. This is for Bay City, Ellsworth. Seek shelter immediately, away from windows and lowest floor possible. This is, again, a brand new tornado warning. Here's your rotation near Red Wing. That's going to be going towards Bay City over the next several minutes, and Red Wing toward Highway 61. Again, get away from windows, lowest floor possible. Rotation is currently quickly moving off to the northeast. And this is a brand new tornado warning. That is currently, again, this is just off. I believe this is going into Wisconsin. So we're currently in Minnesota here near Red Wing. It will be going into Wisconsin towards Ellsworth and Plum City. So that's the latest on this. Again, brand new tornado warning moving off to the northeast. Seek shelter immediately, away from windows. Again, lowest floor possible. If you're anywhere in Red Wing, Bay City, anywhere along 19, Highway 61 as well, Highway 63, Highway 10 back up here in between Ellsworth and Plum City should all be in shelter right now. The storm's quickly moving off to the northeast at about 50 miles per hour. It's a very quick moving cell. And again, here's your rotation. I mentioned this before. We had some rotation here. So this is why we had that ongoing tornado possible label. And we are beginning to see some tightening of this rotation as it quickly, again, moves off to the northeast. Again, in portions of far eastern Minnesota and far western portions of Wisconsin is currently where we're at on this brand new tornado warning. Yeah, brand new tornado warning. This again, it didn't really come out of nowhere, but the storm's been rotating for some time, so I'm not surprised by any means. We definitely have a bit of a hook here, by the way. You can kind of see it. Here's your inflow going to the storm. Let me go back on the other color so we can have a better view of this. So there's your inflow. Here's your hook as of right now. Again, tornadoes typically like to sit right about there. That's near 58. Again, moving off to the northeast. So, but seems like our rotation seems to be well in front of that, though. This is, again, where they're currently indicating some rotation. Let's look at the live radar. So that's kind of the area where we have some rotation. So again, make sure you're in shelter immediately, away from windows. This is going to be going towards Red Wing over the next several minutes. Again, southeast of Minneapolis for reference, so kind of southeast of the metropolitan area. Going through Red Wing, Plum City, and Ellsworth over the next several minutes. Again, a brand new tornado warning. Just got issued not too long ago. I'm going to keep it on this screen for now. It's like a crab claw. That's interesting. Thanks, JD. Appreciate it. Let me look at the velocities higher up, actually. That'd be a good idea. Let's go over to the velocities higher up here. Not sure how high up we can really go here. Doesn't seem to be nearly as strong as we go higher up, but that's also a few scans back. Not able to get really that great of a view on this, but it seems like our strongest rotation, most likely near Red Wing. Again, it's kind of a weird situation because the rotation is currently out here, which is not a typical spot. So, but again, if you're anywhere in this area, just seek shelter. Again, this will be going towards Red Wing over the next several minutes. It will be heading towards areas like 35 along Highway 63. Again, in between Ellsworth and Plum City is also included in this warning. Let me see if we have any Twitter details coming in as well. I'll take a look. By the way, we have some amazing photos coming out on Twitter. I'm going to send those. I'm going to retweet those again. I'm not going to show them now. More lightning photos, though, coming out of Buffalo, Minnesota. Can't show them right now since we're in a tornado warning, but I will show them at some point. Crazy photos, but they're on Twitter if you want to take a look. Let me go over to this. I'm going to take a look and see if we have any new updates on this. See if I have any reports. And this tornado warning was just issued. Going into western Wisconsin here pretty shortly. This will be crossing over into Wisconsin in a moment. Let's see if we have any specific details on this. All right, so this impacts about 30,000 people. So if you know anybody in this area, make sure you give them a phone call. If you don't know anybody in this area, the best thing you can do is like the stream or like somebody else's stream so more people are aware of it. Helps out the people that are trying to see this tornado warning that's ongoing. Again, going towards Ellsworth and Plum City. Red Wing is currently in the immediate track of this in the next couple of minutes, and that really should be over your location within a minute or so. So if you're in Red Wing, this is your last chance. Get to your safe place. If you're in Bay City, that is also going to be pretty much your last chance. Get into shelter now just in case. Get an ongoing tornado radar indicated rotation. This is, again, not on the ground as of what we know, but it very well could happen at any time as it moves off to the northeast. And we'll watch this one very closely. Go back over to the velocities here. We'll take a look again real quick. And our area of rotation is currently centered back over here near Red Wing. Here's a look at the live radar. And again, that's kind of the area that we're looking at. We have a little bit of a hook here, a bit of an inflow going into the storm as well. Let me go back over to the reflectivity. And again, that's going to be crossing into Red Wing very momentarily. I think our next radar update is coming in right now. So once we get this next radar update, we should have an idea of what we're looking at, where the location of this is. We're basically right about now, which should be coming in here momentarily. So we'll keep you updated. Thanks, Sean. I appreciate it. I'm aware of it. Yeah, I've had no luck with glasses. I just bought a new pair, and they're still very loose. I do this all the time. It's really annoying. Let me take a look at the correlation coefficient. Let's just take a look. Yeah, this is probably the little hole that we have here. This does occasionally happen. Let me go back over to the reflectivity. When we have this little like hole here of the reflectivity, occasionally the correlation coefficient picks up on that. So that might be what we're looking at there. But we'll take a look at the next scan that's coming in momentarily. We'll give you an update on that. Oh, LASIK? Maybe. I've thought about it. We do also an update on this warning. Severe thunderstorm warning has been condensed a little bit. Hasn't updated on my end, but it will update here momentarily. The severe thunderstorm warning. Tornado warning is still ongoing for the same locations. Again, Red Wing, Bay City, as well as areas like Plum City and Ellsworth are all included in the warning. Let's go back over to the correlation coefficient. All right, here's a little bit of something. I'm going to take a little bit of an investigation here. Let's go over to the velocities. And I don't see a whole lot of anything that's going to be definitive in terms of a radar confirmed tornado or anything like that. It seems like our area of rotation is now over Highway 61. And comparison to that, that is kind of what we're looking at. So I'm not seeing anything down this direction. Is most likely just kind of the reflectivity again. But I'm not seeing anything on radar that would confirm a tornado right now. Again, there could be one, though, at any time as this does track off to the northeast. So again, if you're anywhere in this area, make sure you're seeking shelter immediately, away from windows and lowest floor possible as this tracks off to the northeast. Hey, Neo, how you doing? Twitter, I'll link it in chat real quick. Yeah, I'll show it back on stream here in a little bit too, but obviously we're in the middle of a tornado warning, so I'm not going to show that. Yeah, we had some crazy, again, if you're just tuning in, Minnesota crazy state fair winds came through that area. The video's on Twitter. I will go ahead and put it back on the stream here in a bit, though. We're going to focus on the tornado warning. Again, this is going to Bay City within the next couple of minutes. If you're in Bay City, get to shelter. If you're already in Red Wing, by the way, I mean, you should already be in shelter in your safe place. Ellsworth, you got a few minutes, and as well as Plum City, you got a few minutes before this gets there. But again, this storm is moving very quickly. It is moving 50 miles per hour, so it is a very quick moving cell. It will probably get there pretty quickly as well, so... This is currently, again, crossing over the Minnesota-Wisconsin border. It is going to be entering into western Wisconsin here pretty shortly. All right, let me take a look. We have a lot of storm damage, by the way, coming out of Apple Valley. I'm not sure where that exactly is. I think that's in the Minnesota area, or the Minneapolis area. But apparently a tree fell on a mobile home in Apple Valley. I'll go ahead and retweet that on our Twitter as well. It's a new report that we have coming out of there. That was, again, from the damage that we saw earlier. By the way, thank you, Sean, for the $5 super chat. I appreciate it. Might help my glasses situation. Appreciate it. Yeah, it is a hook. There's a pretty decent hook here near Red Wing. Again, here's your little bit of a hook here. Inflow going to the storm. And tornadoes typically like to sit, though, back down here. And that would, again, be pretty close to Red Wing. If there were to be a tornado, that is where we probably have our little bit of rotation ongoing as of right now, going off to the northeast. Again, correlation coefficient did show a little bit, and you kind of see it here, but when we match that up to the velocities, they match a little bit better, actually, but the velocities aren't overly strong. We also have a little bit of the, again, reflectivity issue here, so I can't, again, nothing confirmed by radar, but there very well could be a tornado at any time as this moves off to the northeast. Again, Bay City is going to be on the track of this within the next 2 minutes or so. Yeah, if the storms do end up merging, it would obviously hinder the overall tornado potential on the long, or not really long term, but really at all. I mean, it'll start to kind of dwindle. But very interesting storm as it moves off to the northeast. Let's tighten up the frames. Yeah, I'm going to try. I'm going to try. Hey, thanks, Jan, for the $5 super chat. I just moved in, so nothing's really happened yet, but I appreciate it. I start on Monday. All right, let me go back over to the velocities again. We'll take, again, a quick look. And I'm not seeing nearly as much rotation here near Red Wing. It does seem to be a little bit weaker at this point. Again, the area where there would be rotation in this storm would likely be in here near Highway 63. So, again, if you're in Bay City, just make sure you're in shelter now. Red Wing, you're getting through the storm right now. Still stay in shelter if you're in that region. Anywhere, again, in Ellsworth and Plum City, you do have a few minutes, but, again, you should be starting to get to your safe place. Have that plan in place, by the way, if you're out in front of this storm or really in any of the vicinities of these storms, because, again, there is still low-end tornado potential over the next several minutes and really over the next hour or so, because we still do have a pretty strong low-level jet tonight and a pretty decent low-level shear amount. So we are still looking at some good ingredients. It's just not, obviously, the most prime environment due to the fact that these storms are just kind of in a weird setup. It's more of a QLCS situation that we have ongoing now. So have a little bit of a briefing on that. By the way, we are down to 3. Let me just drop the warning countdown. We're down to 3 warnings total, 1 tornado warning, as well as 2 severe thunderstorm warnings. So there's a hook on the hook. Yeah, there's basically 2 hooks. I mean, this is more of a false hook here. Just more of rain. And back near Red Wing, we have a little bit more rotation. That's, again, near Highway 63. That's more where our actual inflow is, though, as of right now in that region. So, will I be live tomorrow? Most likely. I will most likely be live tomorrow night. We have also flooding at the fair. Can I show this, Evan? Oh my god. There is insane flooding at the fair in Minnesota. Am I able to show that, though? I'll probably have to ask. All right, I can show. Okay, I'll show it here in a minute. We have insane flooding, though, coming out of Minnesota. Once this tornado warning expires, we're going to show you the insane stuff going on in Minnesota, including an insane amount of flooding. Stay tuned. There's been some insane stuff there. But obviously, still an ongoing tornado warning here. This is now entering into Wisconsin near Bay City, Ellsworth, and Plum City. Again, this is moving off to the northeast. Again, seek shelter immediately, away from windows, lowest floor possible. If you're anywhere near Bay City, Ellsworth, or Plum City, you should be starting to get to your safe place. Warning now no longer is in Minnesota, by the way. It is now only in Ellsworth, and it actually does not include Plum City anymore. So if you're in Plum City, you're okay. If you're in Ellsworth, though, you should be in shelter. Bay City, you should already be in shelter. So that's the latest update on this ongoing tornado warning. You're correct, Slippy. Yeah, it's going to be more of a capped environment long term. So yeah, there's some insane flooding, though. And again, we'll get to it here in a minute, but holy moly. Lots of crazy stuff, again, as I mentioned before there. Again, this does include Pierce County, Wisconsin on the newest tornado warning update. So, again, it goes until another approximately 25 minutes. Again, if this storm's out of the region or starts to weaken out, they'll probably cancel it, but see what happens. We go back over to the velocities. We'll take a look again. And I'm seeing not a whole lot of rotation anymore. It seems to be more of a wind threat, but they are still going to keep the tornado warning, it looks like, ongoing, at least for a few more minutes. But we'll see what happens. Again, it could recycle too. Don't rule it out as it moves off to the northeast. There is rain off to the north of this, so long term, if you're in like Spring Valley, for example, the chances of a tornado threat seem to be low as of right now. But obviously, it will be something to watch for very closely as this, again, does track off to the northeast. Fair was also packed. Yeah, it's a packed fair for sure. We have another video coming out of this area. Man, there's just so many videos coming out of that state fair. This is just a crazy rain. Oh my goodness, man. There's just some crazy. Again, we're gonna give you the latest on these videos and stuff like that, but there's some crazy videos coming out of that area. By the way, severe thunderstorm warning is also updated, so no longer includes most of Minnesota. So Red Wing still included. Yeah, I'll be showing these videos off here in a minute. I also retweeted a few of them. Am I not able to show that video from Robert, by the way? No. I might show that video too. Are they even there, Brady? I don't think they're in Minnesota yet. Thank you, Lisa, and by the way, as well as the other Lisa for subscribing. Sean, I'm not going to make that info public right now. Okay, I'll show it. Okay. All right, so we have 3 videos to show after this, by the way, so stay tuned. We have a lot of videos coming out of that state fair in Minnesota. There's some insane stuff going there, so we'll show it after this tornado warning ends or whatever happens in the next few minutes. But obviously, again, if you are in Bay City, as well as Ellsworth, Wisconsin, again, far western Wisconsin, seek shelter immediately, away from windows, and lowest floor possible. And this is a storm that we're watching very closely. It has had some rotation. It was a bit stronger before, but we're watching it closely as it moves off to the northeast. Yeah, we have a lot of reports and videos to get to after this. There's just a lot of crazy stuff ongoing there in Minnesota from earlier. That state fair, by the way. Insane what happened. Thanks, Marcus. Appreciate it. I'm doing good, Weather. How about you? Hope you're doing well. I haven't seen you in a while. Hope you're doing well. Yes, there was storms that went through the state fair earlier. There were 60 to 65 mile per hour damaging winds. So that was what happened earlier. We already showed a couple of videos before this tornado warning happened. Again, we're going to show them after this tornado warning ends. We're going to stay on the tornado warning as long as it's ongoing, and then we'll show you the videos. But there was, again, crazy stuff. And also, they're all retweeted on our Twitter. So if you want to look at them now, you can go over to our Twitter page. But thanks, Weather. Appreciate it. There may have been a tornado near St. Paul. We're not, again, there's no confirmation as of now. We have a lot of damage reports, but that is about it. We don't have any confirmation of a tornado yet in Ramsey County, or really anywhere, in fact, near Egan. Egan was the area where we may have had a tornado earlier in Minnesota, but that's not confirmed as of right now. So but yeah, the fair was just it seemed like pretty much a disaster when the weather struck, but again, I'll show you in a minute. Yeah, we won't know anything about if there was actually a tornado unless, 1, a storm chaser sees one, 2, if there's clear evident damage of there being a tornado at that given time, or 3, the National Weather Service surveys it the following day, typically is when that happens. Unless it's like an early morning tornado, they'll be out there typically during that day. But this is obviously a nighttime situation. They will not survey that tornado if there was one, or even the damage up until probably tomorrow. So just keep that in mind. Obviously, that's for future reference. They will not be able to confirm tornadoes unless we actually have any video evidence or something like that, or if they survey it and they conclude that there was a tornado. So, weather, we're not entirely sure. There's not been any confirmation of any yet, but we've had 3 tornado warnings, 2 in Minnesota and now 1 in, well, this one's also in Minnesota technically. Now it's back into Wisconsin though. So. By the way, if you're just tuning in for the first time, make sure to hit the subscribe button. Again, we have a lot of live streams, a lot of severe weather live streams, even for the entire United States. So if you're anywhere in the United States, make sure to hit the subscribe button down below. Like the video if you have not already. Would appreciate it. Honest forecast here on YouTube. All right, let me go over to, let me see if the track works again. I was trying to use the tracking device earlier, but I think it's glitched out. Let me try it again. See if I can track out the storm or not. I don't think I can. Yeah, I think the track is still glitching out, unfortunately. But again, anywhere near Elmwood, Spring Valley, you're probably getting hit by this specific storm or somewhere along this line in about maybe 20 to 30 minutes. Again, if it will be tornado warned is still to be determined, but I don't think this tornado warning will last too much longer, but we'll have to wait and see. I was on vacation. I was not on vacation. I haven't been on vacation in a while, actually. I had like a little day trip like a month ago, but that wasn't really a vacation. Sorry, Lisa, what was your question? Oh, no, Chicago's not in this area. No, this is not Chicago. We're in Minnesota, and unless you're talking about a different Chicago. I don't know if there's a different Chicago in this area, but definitely not Chicago, Illinois. This is, again, over near Minnesota and, well, as Wisconsin. Thanks, Joe. Appreciate it. Get your kind words. Yeah, if you're talking about Chicago, like the actual, oh, is it actual city in Minnesota? Okay, well, I'm obviously not educated on geography in this area. Let me take a look real quick for you. Are you talking about if the storms went through your area? There's a place called Little Chicago. Is that what you're talking about? Oh, that's okay, never mind. That's not the right place. Chicago City, Minnesota. Let me look. Yeah, figure out where the location is. Oh, this is pronounced differently. Something along those lines. Near Wyoming. There was some, I think there was some damaging winds up there, but I'm not entirely sure. But I think you're pretty much done for tonight. It's mainly just rain from here. Yeah, I think that's what they're talking about. No problem. My bad. I'm obviously not educated with Minnesota geography. Yes, Chris, I have. I've seen tornadoes like that before. They're very, very rare, though. They're very, very rare. Anticyclonic tornadoes. This is not a situation where we would have an anticyclonic, I don't think. Because we got, let me just make sure we're at the right, yeah. So, these are the winds going toward the radar, going away from the radar. That is obviously going to be counterclockwise. In comparison to what we've seen, it's very rare, but we do sometimes see those tornado instances where we have anticyclonic tornadoes, but they're very rare, so they don't really happen that often. By the way, if you want to check out those videos, go to my Twitter page. Again, I'm going to show them on stream here in a minute anyways, but... Puerto Rico? Wisconsin. Yeah, right. All right. Let me go over to Twitter. Let's take a look. So, the warning's still ongoing. I'm just going to make sure it's still ongoing. Once it goes away, we'll go ahead and show the videos. Again, I'm just going to make sure we're covering this storm for right now. It's more of a damaging wind threat, though, I think, now more than anything with this storm. But tornado warning's just been condensed again. It is still ongoing for Ellsworth and Esdaile, saying that right? So those are the 2 areas that we have still an ongoing tornado warning for another 16 minutes. Obviously, it probably will be canceled beforehand, though. Our latest update here. We do have a few photos coming out of Wichita. It's Wichita, Kansas. A little shelf cloud in Wichita, Kansas, by the way. It's going to be very difficult to see. I'm not going to show it, but we do have a pretty interesting shelf cloud over there in Wisconsin, or excuse me, in Kansas. Kansas actually saw some storms earlier, by the way. So, yes, this is western Wisconsin. So, John, for the most part, it's been mostly isolated activity. Obviously, what we've seen over the last couple of hours was a bit of a different story. It really all happened pretty quickly, but the watches, I mean, sometimes they'll get issued, but it's kind of situational. With this situation, we've obviously, it's kind of like a 2 to 3 hour thing. I'm not sure. I'm not the storm prediction center, so I couldn't tell you. But I probably would have issued at least some sort of small watch for this region. But that's just me. I have no clue, though. I don't know what they really classify as a, what needs to be a watch in this scenario. But this, again, was supposed to be a brief event, so it wasn't going to be more than probably 2 to 3 hours. We're pretty much on hour 2, I would say now. So kind of my thinking. Might be because of that. Power knocked out near the State Fair. Thank you, Kimberly, for the report. Yeah, we have a lot of crazy stuff there. Yes, Colbat, yes. Tomorrow will be a bit of a higher threat for an isolated tornado or two. Back up in northern and central Minnesota, most likely. It's going to be your best chance. Hey, no problem, Scott. I'm glad you stay safe. It's that was definitely a dangerous storm. All right, let me hop over to the videos. I'm just going to show them now because I do think the rotation at this point is not nearly as strong as before. Let's just double check. Yeah, we're not seeing nearly as much rotation anymore. So let's hop over to the videos because I know a lot of you guys have probably been waiting for those. Let me go over to the... We have a couple of them. There is a couple of crazy ones, to say the least. Let's go over to the first one. This is the flooding at the state park. Yeah, or not the state park, excuse me, the state fair. This was sent in, this was from ZB on Twitter. So yeah, this is pretty insane, to say the least. And for those that are wondering, can I still get my hot dogs at the hot dog stand? Probably not. This is getting pretty incredible flying, though, that we saw here at the State Fair. Let me go and see if we have any other videos here. We have a couple. We have a little bit of rain on this one. This is more of just a little bit of flooding on the streets. A lot of rain, sidewards wind, that sort of thing. This is at a parking lot location. This was near the State Fair. Or wait, no, this was not. This is near Minnesota, somewhere in Minneapolis, though. At a parking lot. A lot of rain falling there. And we have one more somewhere. I need to figure out where that was. I lost it on here. I have too many tabs open. By the way, we have 30,000 people without power in Minnesota. Update there. Let me find where this other video was. I lost it. This is another video. This might not be the one I was looking for, but this is all the lightning in Minnesota as well. Sent in by Molly Miller. And I lost the other one, but there was another one somewhere. There's another video. I can't find it, though. But that was what we saw. Again, all those are retweeted on Twitter, but again, a lot of crazy stuff, to say the least, in these areas. A lot of crazy stuff. Let me go, actually, let's go to the first one. Let me get to the other video. This is the one that we saw first. Let me get to that real quick. This was the one that we saw earlier. This was the insane one sent in by Weather Cannon on Twitter. This was at the State Fair, and I've showed this a few times earlier, but this was the insane one at the actual State Fair when the winds were hitting around 60 to 65 miles per hour. We were seeing, obviously, you can see all the people, winds whipping. They're all trying to huddle under these trees, which obviously I do not recommend, by the way, for these areas, but crazy to say the least in this area. By the way, thank you, Sean, for becoming a 2-month Hurricane Chaser member. I appreciate that a lot, Sean. Thank you very much. Appreciate your support. You being a Hurricane Chaser. Big commitment. Let's get some claps in the chat, by the way, for Sean. That a lot. Thank you very much. We have a new severe thunderstorm warning, by the way, for Harding, South Dakota, for 60-mile-per-hour damaging winds. That's interesting. Yeah, this is again the video. Again, Twitter, you can check that out. But lots of crazy stuff. That was the State Fair, as I mentioned before. What am I seeing for wind? We barely got anything in between Red Wing and Ellsworth. That area may have not seen as much wind. It's primarily, I think, the wind field. I'll kind of give you an idea. Was kind of in this area here. That was where really we have had our wind. So there might be a little stretch here, but there may have been more wind higher aloft too. That's a possibility with this storm that we may have had. We may have had a little bit of wind, like, higher up in the atmosphere. It might have not been nearly as much at the surface. So that might have also been what happened in your location. All right, thank you, CC, as well as hey, for subscribing. Appreciate it, guys. Welcome. Yeah, if you have not already, hit the subscribe button down below. I would appreciate it. We also have a tree down, by the way, in Lake Hiawatha. Hopefully I'm saying the name right. That is a new report. I'm going to retweet that on our Twitter. We have another report that is a tree down. A large tree limb. It's basically a tree that got kind of snapped in half. That's on our Twitter page. You can find it, again, link in the description below. I'll put it in chat, by the way. Nightbot will put it in. Go check that out. Also, by the way, if you have any photos, videos, you can tweet me on Twitter. If you want to join our community, by the way, off the stream, you can talk to me, all that sort of thing. Join our community off the stream. Discord links in the chat. But yeah, crazy day, crazy day. Yeah, there was nowhere. Well, actually, the funny thing was, I forgot to say the backstory. Apparently, this is what I heard. Again, I can't confirm this, but there was people, or there was like announcements saying evacuate, you know, get away from the state fair, like leave, basically. But apparently, a lot of people did not take that seriously, and they did not end up leaving. So that is the kind of backstory to it. I'm not sure how entirely true that is, but honestly, I wouldn't doubt it. But it's definitely not out of the question that that may have happened with that, you know, ongoing windstorm. But obviously, not a whole lot of people, I think, in Minneapolis or really anywhere at that state fair were expecting, and all of a sudden, this big windstorm to just come flying in. So, kind of my thinking, though. I think that's probably, sounds kind of true, though. And by the way, tornado warning still ongoing for another 9 minutes. I do think it'll be canceled, but see what happens. Really, they're not making much coverage on the state fair. I'm surprised, and honestly, I'm not sure how, you know, these stations even work, to be honest. But it might take them a bit too to get, you know, permission to use all that stuff. I was able to get permission pretty quickly on the state fair stuff, but yeah, it just kind of depends on that too. They have to get permission. They got to, you know, make it into a format on news or something like that. But hey, Unstable, how you doing? Welcome back. But yeah, again, crazy day to say the least. Marcus, I have no clue. I don't think so. Pretty sure they just do car dent repair. Again, if you're enjoying the content here on our YouTube page, again, I would appreciate if you hit the like button down below. We're only 10 likes away from 400. That'll be our last like goal for tonight. Also, subscribe if you haven't already. It's the red button down below. It's free to do. Helps our page out a lot. Other than that, hope everybody's enjoyed the stream so far. We'll see how much longer I'm live for. We'll stay live at least through this tornado warning. We'll kind of take a quick look around the area too. We still have a lot of storms ongoing. A lot of them in Wisconsin now. We still have some in Iowa, but overall severe weather is starting to taper down a little bit. So good news overall. Looking as of right now. Let me go back over to Twitter. I'm going to take a look and see if we have any new stuff coming in. Yeah, this is insane. I'm going to go and see if I can get permission on this, too. Sure. All right. See if I get permission on that one. We have a lot of videos that came out of that area, but I might go ahead and do something with that video. We have a few videos, again, lots of crazy stuff in the state fair. This tornado warning, again, is ongoing in western Wisconsin. It is basically east of Minneapolis. It's probably going to expire here pretty shortly, or I should say canceled by the National Weather Service, but we'll see what happens. Nothing in Virginia, nope. Maybe something next week, maybe mid-next week, maybe some isolated severe weather, but again, we'll keep you posted on any of that sort of stuff. We're looking at as of right now. That's good, Scott. Hey, it's always good to be into weather. There's a lot of people out there that are not really educated on the whole weather realm, like, you know, what certain things are and what they mean and all that. So, yeah, I think, you know, honestly, it's kind of one of those things for me too. Like when I was in high school or middle school, I barely learned anything about weather in school. I feel like it needs to be taught more sometimes. In my opinion, I feel it's one of those topics that not enough people are, you know, knowledgeable about it to the point where, you know, there would be like a tornado warning or, you know, some sort of certain severe weather warning or something like that, or anything like that. I mean, people just look at their weather app and think, okay, cool, sun. That's it. I mean, it's kind of one of those things. I feel like there needs to be a bit more education on the topic, but who knows? I don't make up those things. But I never learned anything from weather in school, though. So it's all been basically self-taught. Thanks, team. I appreciate it. All right, so tornado warning still ongoing. I'm going to go and I took off the thing for right now because I do think it's going to be expiring here pretty shortly. Back down in Iowa, by the way, we do have some storms ongoing, but most of it's just strong. You can see this is kind of the cluster I mentioned before, by the way. Cluster of storms moving into this area. Des Moines going to get hit by this. Belmond, and as well as Mason City going to get hit by that here pretty soon. That's what we got going down there. I think we have one other warning. Let me go and figure out where that is first. That was in South Dakota, actually. So we have another severe thunderstorm warning in South Dakota. We still got a tornado warning for 5 more minutes here in Ellsworth. Once this expires, I'll probably end the stream, but see what happens. Thank you, some guy, Mikey, as well as Debris for subscribing. I appreciate it, guys. Welcome. I had a lot of nightmares back when I was like 5 or 6 that a tornado was literally hitting my house. That happened almost like literally every day for about 2 weeks straight. I don't know why, but I had the same exact dream in different sort of orientations. It was the weirdest thing. Hey, no problem, Sky River. Appreciate you tuning in. Really, Theodore? That's interesting. You might have to go to bigger schools for that sort of thing. I'm not entirely sure, though. I never had a meteorology class in any school that I've ever been to, other than, obviously, college. Yeah, how long does that Minnesota State Fair go for? Does anybody know? How many days is that? Kind of curious. I'm not entirely sure how long that whole thing goes for, but I would assume it's a pretty decent amount of time. Usually state fairs are about a month or so. By the way, this whole thing is kind of collapsing, so we're starting to see a lot more, obviously, storm activity, a lot of damaging winds most likely on go in western portions of Wisconsin, but I do think the overall severe weather threat is going to be dropping over the next few hours, but yeah, I heard it's a big one. 12 days, is that it? Okay, 12 days. I thought it'd be a little bit longer. I have a state fair somewhere. I know of a state fair, but oh, so the state fair date, Evan just told me, they're August 25th through September 5th. So that is the fair dates in Minnesota. Just for anybody that was curious. But it's interesting. Okay, no, they continued regardless of what I did. I was scared to go to sleep for a while because of that. Like, what in the world's going on? Really, team? That's crazy. I've never gone to a state fair. I'm not gonna lie. I've never gone to one. I need to go to one someday. Jose, this is currently in western Wisconsin. That's where we're at as of right now. Apparently, they have fireworks too. Obviously, those were probably not gonna be shot off tonight in the state fair of Minnesota, but we got somebody researching the whole back end here of this state fair that had some crazy disasters. I did not mean to do that. Just hit my face cam thingy. Nick, no, nothing tonight. You're clear for the rest of the night. We have a lot of damage reports, actually. I didn't even see these. We have 6-inch branches down along Lakeville. A large tree fell on a mobile home in Apple Valley. That is where we had that damage report. That may have been from a tornado, by the way. We're not entirely sure. In Egan, there was also trees down, branches down in central Egan. And we also had actually $half sized hail in Little Canada. That's in areas just outside of St. Paul. So a couple of new damage reports coming in there. And we also have another one. Branches to 2 inches in diameter down. Small tree in yard debris thrown about in Elko, New Market. So those are new updates on those other warnings, by the way. So a lot of crazy stuff, as I mentioned before. And again, brand new updates on those damage reports. A lot of damage, it seems like, with the storms that went through that area. I know, this live stream is not sponsored by the Minnesota State Fair. Go with $100 for food? $100? That's how much I'm spending, like, I don't even know. You know, at college, I am really budgeting on food. Because obviously I don't make much money from this page. So a lot of the time, I'm literally buying, like, literally small things of rice. Like, I'm just, like, really budgeting on food right now at school. I wouldn't even be able to afford the $100 for fair food out of everything. Yeah, trying my best to budget as much as I can, college and whatnot. I'm trying to go without, you know, having a college debt and all that sort of stuff, but who knows? It's tough. Literally, I got these like microwavable rice things that are like $1.30 or something like that each. That's basically, you know, a meal a day. Not meal a day, but like basically 3 meals a day or so. So it basically costs maybe less than $5 or so. In comparison to like a meal where you can buy one for like 10 to 15 bucks each. Just a nice little budgeting. Oh god, I got a link to the new foods at the festival. Oh my god, these are actually insane. This is making me hungry. Alright, warnings have been canceled, by the way, so we no longer have warnings here. We still have one in South Dakota. We'll take a quick look at it. Whoa, look at this. This warning's actually including the whole county here. In Buffalo, South Dakota for 60-mile-per-hour winds. And it's a little area storm, just a little line. This is the area, by the way, that had a marginal threat for severe weather tonight. So that would explain why we have that there. But beyond that, we actually have a flash flood warning. 3 inches of rain fell over in Waukon, saying the name right? Northeastern Iowa. We do have a special weather statement, by the way, over in Spring Valley for 40-mile-per-hour winds. So a new update there. But other than that, all the severe thunderstorm warnings have expired beyond the other one that we have back down over, as I mentioned before, in South Dakota. So, interestingly enough, that's what we had. Reflect. It got really bad in St. Paul. That's all I got to say. We had a lot of crazy stuff in St. Paul. $100 splurge. I can't afford a $100 splurge, but I appreciate it. Yeah, maybe someday. Maybe after college or something. Yeah, honestly, like any food I can get, I mean, trying to budget as much as I can at this point. By the way, thank you alone for subscribing. I appreciate it. Storms tomorrow will primarily be in Minnesota again. The biggest threat for severe weather will be in northern Minnesota. So let me go and pull it up here for you. This is tomorrow's severe weather event. Yeah, I can show the water vapor. Just give me a minute. This is tomorrow's slight risk of severe weather. Best potential, in my opinion, will be this area here. This other circle. This one up here. I drew 2 circles with the same color. This area here, though, in my opinion, best chance for severe weather. So, northern Minnesota, probably north of Interstate, looks like 94. So, that's my opinion on tomorrow's severe weather. And I think tornado potential is definitely there tomorrow. Day 3, yeah, real quick, I'll show it. I'll go over to water vapor. Day 3 is across areas like Illinois, include Chicago, Milwaukee, goes through Michigan, as well as northwestern areas of Ohio. So that is what is going on as of right now in terms of severe weather. Thank you, Sean, for the $100 super chat. Oh my goodness, Sean. For some pizza. I'm trying to go with rice. Hey, Sean, I really appreciate that a lot. Thank you very much, Sean. Really do appreciate your generosity. Let's get some claps in the chat. Tennis ball emojis as well for those that are members in the chat for Sean, excuse me, for the huge $100 in the super chat. Man, that's insane. I appreciate that a lot, Sean. Thank you very much. Yeah, for warm pizza. I'm not getting cold pizza. I'm getting warm. I appreciate that a lot. Thank you very much. Let me go over to the water vapor real quick. I was going to show you guys that. There's a lot of cool stuff in the software. I kind of mentioned that a lot, but this is the water vapor. Take off the radar. Look at the water vapor. Man, this is insane. You can see all the storms exploding and everything, too. The infrared imagery, in my opinion, looks a lot cooler, but appreciate that a lot, Sean, again. Really do appreciate it. Thank you very much. Eating ravioli? How expensive is ravioli these days? I don't know how much it's up to, but here's the water vapor. Let me go over to the infrared imagery. This is the infrared. I like the infrared more. It's not nearly as crazy. These storms don't have nearly as high of cloud tops, or at least it's not as cold in the upper atmosphere, but $1 can? Okay, gotcha. Actually not bad. I'm gonna go shopping probably pretty soon, so I have to get some stuff like that. Yeah, I'm just trying to do like really cheap stuff, you know? Anything I can get for cheap. But obviously the $100 super chat from Sean might get me a bit more than just a couple of ravioli containers. Maybe, you know, maybe one of those pizzas. Maybe. Alright, let's go back over to the live radar. There's a line forming from Texas to Wisconsin. I can put it on the live radar. Oh yeah, look at that. So it's a very broken line. It's not very pronounced. It's going to weaken over time, but we got a line all the way from Texas. It breaks big time here north of Kansas City. And then it kind of comes back up here through Iowa and basically the Midwest. So Theodore, that'll be in tomorrow's forecast. That forecast for tomorrow, by the way, will be out pretty early in the morning. It's going to be around like 10 or 11 Eastern. It's going to be earlier than it usually is. So I have a forecast out. I'm going to wake up early tomorrow for that. So stay tuned. Yeah, tomorrow's forecast. Ooh, what in the world? Tomorrow's forecast is going to be big, though. It's going to be a big forecast. Very, very, very detailed forecast on the tropics along with the severe weather potential. But yeah, I'll be busy tomorrow. And if you want to make sure you get alert on that, make sure you click the bell icon down below. Subscribe again if you have not already. YouTube channel. But if you look at Montana with the water vapor, let me take a look. The water vapor again. Take off the live radar. Thank you, by the way, for the $1 super chat. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. See, there's a swirl over here. Oh yeah, that's probably a trough, I'm assuming. Let me take a look at the surface map. I'm pretty sure that's just a trough, though. That's probably the trough that's gonna bring severe weather, if I'm not mistaken. Double check here, though. Yeah, that's the trough. This is the trough here that we're looking at, and you can very clearly tell. Although you can kind of see the water vapor up here. It's kind of hard to tell. It's a bit different because it's water vapor, but this is kind of going almost stationary or slightly south. You got all the cloud or all the water vapor kind of going this direction. Got some of it sinking down this direction. That is your counterclockwise spin for a low pressure system. And again, this is what's going to bring that severe weather potential tomorrow. And as well as potentially in the next week. Again, we're gonna have a negatively tilted trough next week. First time in probably months that we've had a negatively tilted trough. So completely different story next week. Or really, not next week. I should just say this week because it's really this week. But yeah, that's what we're looking at as of right now. And I just crashed my software, so I have to restart it again. That's pretty much what we're looking at. Thank you, by the way, Stu, and as well as Mohammed for subscribing. I appreciate it. Yeah, from Dollar General be 150. Are they really up above $1 now? Back up to here. Hey, have a great night, Chloe. Appreciate you tuning in. Thank you, Miss K, for also the $100 super chat. Oh my goodness, you guys are going crazy. Thank you so much, Miss. I really appreciate your support too. Man, that's crazy. I really appreciate it. Thank you very much. Hey, again, let's get some claps in the chat. Tennis ball emojis if you're a member for Miss as well for the $100 super chat. Man, it goes a long way. I really appreciate your support as well, Miss. And as well, again, as Sean from earlier. This is very, very generous. Obviously, again, not needed by any means. Or really, you don't have to, but I really do appreciate your support. Thank you very much, Miss. And again, as well, Sean. Stu, this is not a scam. People choose to donate. You don't have to donate, obviously. It's just, it's never required by any means. Just watching the streams is a lot of support to me anyways, but just a hobby that I do. Check Discord. Fantastic. Thanks, Theodore. I appreciate you tuning in as always. Appreciate your support. I'm dying of these emojis. The tennis ball emojis is some meme. I can't remember when we made it up. It was probably about not even a month ago. Jaws, the Jaws is the biggest supporter on our channel at this point. He's gifted 200 members or something like that now, 250 memberships to the channel overall in just the past like 3 or 4 weeks. And I think the tennis ball thing came from him or somebody along those lines. Or Squidward, maybe. I don't know if Squidward's here anymore, but it's kind of weird. I appreciate the support again. Really do. It does mean a lot. It goes a long way, as I mentioned before. Now maybe I have to get 2 pizzas and not just 1. What about Georgia? Nothing for you tonight, Amanda in Georgia. But obviously, again, tropics are going to start brewing. There might be a hurricane potentially developing going to this upcoming week or maybe even the following week. That might come towards the United States. And again, I'm going to have more details on it in tomorrow's forecast. No need to worry or anything like that. It's just something to watch. It's currently in the Western Atlantic. It will be tracking probably towards the Bahamas, most likely. But again, that's long term. Let's just get through the short term first. So I'm going to kind of give you the breakdown of what to expect, though, tomorrow. I'll be in tomorrow morning's forecast. So make sure to turn on post notifications down below. Click the bell icon. And again, subscribe if you've not already. No problem. Yeah, I don't think Georgia will be impacted by much with that. But overall, Georgia's going to be having your typical, late summer, early fall weather. Nothing too crazy. Maybe some heat, though. That'd be about it. Expecting at least anyways. Alrighty. Well, again, thank you, Miss, as well as Sean, for the enormous super chats. Again, not you by any means, but I do appreciate your support. Beyond that, though, I am going to go ahead and end the live stream there. I do appreciate everybody tuning in. Really does mean a lot to me. Again, if you've not already, I'm going to give you a few reminders, all right? Make sure to join our Discord server. It's our off-the-stream community. It's very easy to make an account, by the way. Join the Discord server. It's linked in the chat from Nightbot. Also, if you're a member, you can get a special role on there. So make sure to join our Discord server if you've not already. Also, make sure to check out my latest forecast. It was uploaded yesterday, but you can kind of check it out for some tropics updates. We have a lot of updates, though, in tomorrow's forecast. Brand new forecast coming out tomorrow morning. But beyond that, that's about it for tonight. Appreciate everybody tuning in. As always, make sure to subscribe. Again, if you're new here, hit the like button if you've not already. Again, another crazy stream. This was obviously much more crazy than last stream. We didn't really have much going on earlier, but big ramp up, and we are now done for the most part for tonight. If you're in any of these storms, by the way, just make sure you stay safe. Stay away from windows if you get on any more warnings tonight, but I do think overall severe weather will be tapering down. Again, I do appreciate everybody tuning in. Again, one more time in the chat, claps for both Sean and Miss. Big support, very generous super chats. I really do appreciate their support a lot. Beyond that, though, I appreciate everybody tuning in as always. Have a great rest of your night. Stay safe. Again, I'll probably be live again tomorrow. And that'll be about it for tonight. Appreciate everybody tuning in. We'll see you guys all again soon.